ADDICTS. Like, hey, Scoob, did you hear Nikki Blake is hosting a Scooby-Doo panel? No. Yeah. Like on today's Scooby-Doo episode, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy meet Nikki Blake. Yeah, and a Scooby Panel. Like, we need to get this puppy started. Okay, Nikki Blake, take it away, Scooby-Doo.
Welcome to the Scooby Panel. I'm your host, Nikki Blake from ScoobyAddicts.com, and today we're celebrating Christmas. Before we begin, I'll have everyone introduce themselves, and Wendy, we'll start with you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Wendy BRYDGE. I'm a commissioned artist. I've been collecting Scooby for 30 years, and my two favorite things, Scooby and Christmas. So this is exciting. Favorite panel of the year.
Joel?
Hey, I'm Joel. You can find me on YouTube as Planet Scooby.
Trevor?
Hello, I'm Trevor Hawkins. You can find me on Instagram, Funky Philosophy Fridays, and I do a lot of fan art of Scooby, and I minimally collect.
DANII?
I'm DANII MEGER. You can find me on all social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at MasqueradesFox.
I'm so excited to talk about Christmas, and also amazed that it's almost Christmas, because it shouldn't be so close to Christmas already. 2022 went really, really fast. Our first topic is Scooby Christmas traditions. So for me, I put up my Scooby-Doo tree, which is actually still up from last year. And we always do the pajamas and ornaments on Christmas Eve with the kids. I usually get Scooby-Doo pajamas and the Hallmark Scooby-Doo ornament for that year. DANII, what are your Scooby-Doo Christmas traditions?
I always have to, of course, it's a good excuse to watch every Christmas related Scooby episode there is. And then I started like a tradition, mostly just as an excuse to watch more Scoob for me, where I find an additional episode each year that I can somehow make Christmas, even though it's not related to Christmas at all. So it's like, oh, this one has a lot of lights. This one has a lot of red and green. And then that's the additional Scooby Christmas episode for the year.
That's great. Trevor, do you have any Scooby Christmas traditions?
Mine, I usually spend a bit of time with the figures. I did Scooby themed trees for several years. I had some tiny ones, and I made one. I had enough to do one for each character, and I decorated them in ornaments of similar colors. And too many Christmas trees, though, I ended up giving them away. But my big Christmas tradition with Scooby is watching Nutcracker Scoob, because it's one of my favorite things, Scooby, period. So
that is a great episode to watch for Christmas. Wendy, what are your Scooby Christmas traditions?
Yeah, I also like to watch holiday Scooby, but particularly while I'm Christmas decorating. So I feel like you can't Christmas decorate. I'm not big on music just in general. So Christmas music, like I have to be in the mood for it. It's not that I never do, but I would rather put on holiday episodes of Scooby and the like. So before DVDs, because yes, unfortunately I am that old, I would make my own VHS tapes, which I also made fancy covers for them.
Wow.
So this has got all kinds of just Hanna-Barbera Christmas cartoons, including some Scooby ones. So always would put on the VHS tape. Now, of course, now we have handy, I highly recommend the 13 Spooky Tales, the holiday edition. And then there's also this one here, but this is my Scooby tradition. Put on this all day long, get the decorations out, wrap myself in tinsel, because surprisingly enough, tinsel garland is very warm. And it's very cold in my house, even while I'm decorating. So it's a great excuse to wear it like a scarf. And then I feel very festive, but I also stay nice and warm. So but you got to watch a Nutcracker Scoob, especially. But all of the Hanna-Barbera Christmas specials just kind of like merged in there with the Scooby ones too. And like, that's my tradition.
The VHS cover looks really cool. You did a great job with it. How long ago did you do that?
Probably when I was like 11,
Wow.
11-ish, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
When 11-year-old Wendy was very good at drawing. Joel, do you have any Scooby Christmas traditions?
I do. I didn't think I did at first, but then I look back and I have quite a few. The first being Christmas ornaments. I put those on my tree, but I've gotten so lazy that my tree is just lights and like the 5 Christmas Scooby ornaments I have. Because no one really visits me anymore with the past lockdowns and whatever, and I just don't want people over anyway. And if they do, they don't go in that room. So I just put those up for myself. And then I watch a lot of Scooby during, usually like in the past, since I've started working, like I'd only get that week off between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And I'd always just want to decompress that week. So for the past 25 years, I probably just watched Scooby-Doo during that week, like just nonstop, nothing Christmas related per se, just anything. And that usually happened because I'd buy something off Amazon that I didn't have and I'd want to watch it that was Scooby related, or just general laziness. It's the only week I give myself a break where I can just not feel guilty but sitting on the couch. So those are my Scooby traditions for Christmas.
Nice. Hey, it's a great way to spend the week off. I mean, you can't get better than watching Scooby. What was your favorite Scooby-Doo gift that you received for Christmas? Trevor?
Well, mine was last year, and I was this little guy, Winter Fred, from the Figures company. I love Winter Fred. I like all their winter clothes, but he is just so awesome. And I was looking at a website that had him on it, and my friend's cousin saw me. So after the party, it was Thanksgiving, she asked, said, would Trevor really like that? And then Jennifer said, I think he would. So when I got it for Christmas from Cindy, I was like really shocked. I was totally surprised. But the best thing is on their winter characters, they make them just like their normal ones. So you normally would think it was just the winter coat, but I mean, he's normal Fred too. So.
Nice. He looks really good.
So cute.
He's just very awesome. So anyway, not to talk too much. Can't really talk too much about Fred, but yeah, I just the thought, the coolness of him and just the thoughtfulness surrounding the gift made me pretty happy. So.
Wendy, what was your favorite Scooby gift that you got for Christmas?
Kicking myself that I forgot to test it to see if it worked before we came on the panel. So I'm hoping that the battery still works. But in 2002, this is one of the only gifts that my dad has ever actually been able to surprise me with. Usually either we blab to each other or we're always together. So there's a lot of like, oh, would you like this for Christmas? I'll buy it for you and put it away for 6 months or whatever, because like we do start early. But this was like a total surprise that year. He snores and his like stomach goes up and down very, very slowly. And it's definitely Scott Innes's voice that's doing this, but he's just so cute and it's plush, but his head and his hands and his feet and his tail are all hard plastic that's flocked. And then obviously like there's a mechanism underneath the blanket, but he's just so cute. And
He is cute.
just to like be surprised by something. And in 2002, like you could not go in a store around here and just like find Scooby things. Like that was, I mean, I feel like it's never been like that up here, but there is a little bit more, not lately, but in the past maybe 10 years or so. But like to find him under the tree that year was like the best thing ever. So he's my favorite Christmas gift.
He is really cute. Joel, what was your favorite Scooby gift that you got for Christmas?
My favorite Scooby gift was, it's not that exciting because you can find it anywhere now for like $5 in a thrift store, but it's the first DVD set of Scooby-Doo,
Nice.
season 1 and 2 of Where Are You? And what made it so special was I was in teacher's college at the time, and I was dirt poor because tuition was pricey, and I bought a car, and I couldn't afford it myself because I was just so in debt. And the kids in my practice teaching, they actually saved up and bought it for me. Like
Aw,
the
nice.
teacher didn't even know that supervised that they were going to do this for me. And they were kind of rotten kids too, but I loved them after that. That just made my day.
That's great. It's so nice that they did that for you. It really is.
Yeah.
Even if they are rotten. Danny, what was your favorite Scooby gift you got for Christmas?
I feel like most of the time people don't get me like Christmas Scooby gifts because they don't know what to get that I don't already have. But I remember one particular with a funny story that might be fun. And I'll send you a photo of it because it's big. It's a Scooby-Doo red and Scooby print fleece body pillow. And it's like a whole body pillow. It's pretty big. It's off to the side and yeah, in a thing. But when we saw it, my mom's car didn't work or anything, and it was like snowing like crazy, so we had to like walk down the hill 30 minutes to like go to stores and stuff. And we couldn't spend like a lot on Christmas gifts or anything, and we were in a store, and this pillow, I saw it on sale for $10, and I was like, that is the best thing. And my mom was like, okay, it can be your Christmas gift, but we have to carry it back up the hill. And I was like, I do not care. So there's like 8-year-old me decked out in -30 with snow up to my knees, carrying a Scooby body pillow and like groceries on each arm, like up the hill. And it wasn't a surprise, but I was all over the moon to get this pillow because I was just like, I have never seen a pillow like that, and it's Scooby. So big goofy, but absolutely love it still to this day. And also, it's not, I say I have a Scooby body pillow, and people are like, ah, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna, no, it's like just a really comfortable large pillow, okay? So not allowed to go, don't ruin this for me. Just a pillow.
Oh, that's funny. I would love to see a picture of 8-year-old Danny walking with the groceries and this huge pillow.
Yeah.
There were no cell phones then, maybe. I don't know when you were born, but yeah, that'd be cool. So my favorite is the Sheriff Scooby. He's a bank. And so I found him a while ago on eBay. I got him last year for Christmas, but I had found one on eBay before this one, and he didn't have the jacket or the collar. And I didn't want to buy him because I wanted it to be, you know, somewhat complete. I'm not sure if he had a dog tag or not, but I found one and I sent it to my husband, and I was like, oh, I found this. He's on my grail list. Like, I really want him. Can I buy him? And he was like, I guess, like, you're not supposed to be buying yourself stuff. We need money to get the kids gifts. And I was just like, all right. But he's like, but get it, just get it. So I went back later because at the moment I couldn't go back on eBay. I was doing something at work. I went back and it was sold. And I was like, no. I sent him a message and I said it was sold. And he goes, well, I guess it just wasn't meant to be yours. And I was like, that is not funny. So he ended up being the one that bought it. And I got to open him and was just totally surprised that he was under the tree.
That's great.
But I was at first I was very upset that he was gone, and I was like, no, I'm never gonna find one. This is terrible. But yeah. Do you have any fun holiday stories, Wendy?
I thought about this for a long time and I'm like, I don't know that I ever had a bad holiday, but I don't really have any like fun stories. Definitely nothing specific to Scooby. The only thing that keeps coming to mind is usually both of my grandmas would come either on Christmas Day or we'd go to somebody's house or like always, but like around the actual day. And my aunt and uncle were always with my one grandma. And there was this one time, this is after my mom had passed away, and my grandma Najelski, that was my mom's mom, we kind of broke away from the group. It was after dinner, it was dark out, all the lights, the Christmas lights were on and everything. And so we went in the living room, and my aunt and uncle and my other grandma always went overboard with the gifts and a lot of like little things. So there was like a ton of these tiny little boxes, and there was a lot of gifts under the tree. And nobody was paying any attention to what we were doing in the living room. And I don't know, she had this like mischievous streak that you really didn't know she had unless you were like alone with her and in like a particular situation, because she was Russian. She had this thick accent. And when the rest of my family was around, like nobody really learned how to communicate with her. She understood English, but you just had to like drop some of the words that you use so that you sounded like she did. It was just a lot easier for her to understand. And the rest of my family would like yell at her as if she was like deaf and that's why she couldn't understand. And I was always telling them like, she can hear you just fine. You just need to like enunciate a little bit differently. Anyway, I don't know what got into us, because honestly, I was never really a kid that like peeked a lot at my gifts. I'm not saying that I never did, because one year my dad got me a Def Leppard dual disc. This is like, I was like a teenager. I unwrapped that gift 5 or 6 times before Christmas when my dad wasn't around to listen to it, and then put it back and rewrapped it and put it back under the tree. So it's all like, I've never done that, but it was not common for me to like go snooping the gifts. My grandma Najelski and I sat in the living room in the dark, opening all of our gifts while everyone was in the kitchen, and laughing and then chucking them under the couch when we couldn't get them closed again, or like there was one moment where she pulled a little too hard and you could hear the rip, and just the look on her face and her laughing and trying to like contain it is like one of my favorite memories. Just to hear her laughing, and it was something that it was just the two of us that we were sharing. And like, I never told anybody that we did that. Like they never, I mean, maybe they knew what we were doing. Maybe we were a lot more obvious than I think, but nobody said anything. So we thought that we had gotten away with just seeing what all of our gifts were and then shoving them under the couch and laughing and choking and crying because we were laughing so hard. But that's really, I don't really have any like fun, exciting stories. All of just I can report that my Christmases were always very nice. And I guess I was just maybe too busy enjoying myself to even remember specific things that were fun to talk about.
I don't know. That was a pretty fun story.
That's good.
Joel, do you have any fun holiday stories?
I struggled as well. I have same problem as Wendy, where I've got like fun family memories, but they're not that exciting. And then I have the opposite problem where I've worked a lot of Christmas parties as a bartender, but I can't share those stories with the panel because they're not appropriate. But I do have a story that involves a Christmas sausage, a fun story. And that's, that involves the restaurant industry. I worked in the restaurant industry for a little bit, 25 years. And during that time, usually from American Thanksgiving to Christmas Eve, you're working from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day. And the first week it sucks, but then you just go insane because you're just blasted with Christmas music all day long, and you're eating Christmas food all day long, and just wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. And things just get silly really quick because you're working with the same people day in, day out. After work, you go hang out with them, so you're not even sleeping. And how it worked is like in the afternoon, you'd have all these office luncheons. They'd come in and you'd seat about 1,000 people between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. So like a lawyer would bring his office and a dentist would bring his office, and you just have all these people. And then at nighttime, you'd have like a larger Christmas party for like a department from a hospital, like the X-ray department, or you'd have like all the dentists in your city come for a party or whatnot. So in between that, we'd be allowed to eat the food that was left over from any event. And someone had the idea of grabbing a sausage and putting it in a light fixture, which is like it was like a candelabra light. So it looked like a candle and had like 5 lights, but they just jammed the sausage in between 2 of the pillars that made up some of the lights. But what made it funny is that was like the spot everyone took their Christmas photos. So the remainder of that day, we're just like laughing, watching all these people do that. And then no one ever took the sausage down. So for the remainder of the Christmas season, just so many people had the sausage in their photo. But no one ever took it down after that. So for 8 years, that sausage was always there. The only reason it got taken down is they renovated and they just gutted the place. So I just imagine this construction worker finding the sausage going, what the, because it was so petrified by then. But that's my Christmas sausage story. Just, and in the summer we had like brides and grooms like having their most romantic photos just underneath that sausage. Just,
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't. Oh,
That's great.
that's my fun Christmas sausage story.
That's great. The sausage usually lasts for 8 years and not like just rot away.
It didn't rot. It just kind of turned into maybe jerky or charcoal.
Oh my gosh.
It's full of preservatives, I guess. And
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
no one wanted to touch it, so no one really knew. It didn't smell bad. Not that we got that close to it, but no one noticed it. It was just weird.
That's funny. That's great.
And the moral of that story is if you go anywhere and plan to take pictures, observe your surroundings before you start snapping away.
Oh yeah. Danny, do you have any fun holiday stories?
There's one in particular I thought of. I have this Scoob, this Christmas Scoob. You might notice something very interesting about one half of his antlers. And so for 18 years, I had a chinchilla. Her name was Chip Dip. She was my best friend. And one year I got this dancing electronic Christmas Scooby, and I loved him. I was very excited, and I put him down when I had a really small room where all my Scoobs were, not close to her cage because it's very aware not to put things too close to her cage, but up near her cage. And then in the morning, I found Scooby like this into her cage, and she had tasted each and every bell from this antler to make sure it was not edible. They were not edible. So I have this Scoob and I have it near her ashes now that she passed away, because I think of the time that she decided to grab a hold of this Scoob and taste every bell. But also she didn't eat the antler, which I really appreciate. She could have done that and didn't, but it was just funny because to begin with, I was like kind of sad. I was mostly worried about her, but I was kind of sad. And then I was just like, no, Chip Dip made my Christmas present better because now it's very unique. Nobody has a chinchilla chewed Scooby like me. So
she didn't eat the bells, right?
Nope, she couldn't. They were too big.
Okay.
So they were like in the bottom of the cage, like she was like, nah, stupid. I have a few things fell too close to Chip Tip's grasp, so now they're all around her paw prints and everything on my Scooby shelves.
That's sweet. Trevor, do you have any fun holiday stories?
Not really. I mean, the one fun thing I remember, like in between family gatherings, sometimes at Christmas or after, we would just get in the car and drive around and go to a lot of different neighborhoods and look at the lights. and that was something that was peaceful when other things weren't always peaceful. So that's it. I don't have any stories.
I do like looking at Christmas lights. It's like the best part of this part of winter, because when the Christmas lights are all turned off, then it's just boring.
Yeah.
So my Christmas story is that I went to Scott Innes's Christmas party, and that was on December 11th, 2011, and got to hang out with Scott Innes. My kids hung out with his son, Presley. And there were 2 Scooby bounce houses. There was a wooden, like haunted house that you could take pictures with, and a wooden mystery machine. There were people dressed up like the gang, and it was just really cool. It was really fun. There was a silent auction, so of course I bought a whole bunch of Scooby stuff. So we drove there. It was 26 hours. We got there in time for the party. We got there maybe 2 hours before the party started. We went to the party, we slept at a hotel, and then the next morning we drove home. 26 hours. So there's a lot of driving, but it was totally worth it. It was fun. We had a good time, and I got a lot of new Scooby stuff. So it was definitely
Nice.
Is there any type of Christmas item that you wish existed that does not exist that is Scooby-Doo related? Joel?
I was racking my brain with this one, and then I do searches and I'm like, oh yeah, exists. But I was thinking I would love a Scooby Christmas album. I know Alvin the Chipmunks has one, and my favorite one is like Boney M's Christmas. They're like that Jamaican band. I love that Christmas album. So I'd love a Scooby one for sure. And then another one I was thinking of, Lego does like an advent calendar for Star Wars and other things. I'd love like a Scooby advent calendar where you get a couple minifigures and maybe some other things like dog tag or little, maybe some clues like that floor hamburger or Cupid doll or something. Just a nice little surprise. I'd buy that every year if they ever came out with one. But those are my 2 things that I would love to see that are Christmas related for Scooby.
I like both of those ideas, and actually an advent calendar was what I have written down.
Oh,
But I
sorry.
would love to see like a wooden advent calendar that's painted like maybe like the mystery machine and has the gang on it. So you can use it every year. You can reuse it. And I just think that that would be so cool to have something like that.
Yeah.
I would feel bad opening the Lego one. I'd have to figure out a way how to open it so it doesn't look like I opened it. But then, I mean, that's no fun either. So
Just get 2.
yeah, they're only $40 each.
Ah, whatever. Merry Christmas, you.
Dani, is there any Scooby item that you wish existed that doesn't exist?
If I had the room for a Scooby tree, I would want a tree skirt. And I've only ever seen like what looks like the fake ones where somebody just slapped a Scooby material together with stolen art. So like if there was like a Warner Brothers Studio Store era looking with a really cute art for a tree skirt, I think that would be so cute. And like that, then it's like floor to top of tree, Scoob tree, which I think would just be like perfect.
I do have one of the tree skirts that is like the stolen art that just kind of slapped on there. And yeah, it's all right. I mean, it works, but yeah, to have an official one would be really cool. Trevor, is there any Scooby-Doo holiday item that you wish existed that doesn't?
I would like to see them come out with like a Christmas cookie set where they have cutters that would be their head profiles and also their body profiles, because they have such distinct silhouettes. So you could make sugar cookies in the shapes of the gang and then do the sprinkles and stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking it would be fun to do a Scooby-Doo nativity scene. So that might hit some people oddly. And the other would be Christmas figure edition where they were in their winter clothes, but it would be like Scooby and Dum and Dee all in scarves, like, you know, make a Christmas set. So they could stand, you could put them around your tree or your Christmas decorations. So yeah,
Yeah.
I had several things that come to mind.
Yeah, they're all great ideas. I like them. Wendy, is there any Scooby-Doo item that you wish existed for the holidays that doesn't?
Trevor and I are totally on the same wavelength because the number one thing on my list was also a Scooby nativity, because I think that would be very, very cool. I would love to see that with some sort of like spooky manger, maybe like a haunted house manger. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like
Like-
this might have to happen.
Just put Scrappy in the manger and it's
Yeah.
spooky. So there you go.
Why not?
Then we'll have to come out with the Easter edition.
Exactly. But also I would love, because I like figures, because figures they're a nice size, they're easier to display than like a plush, they take up less room, they look really cool together. I would love to see like a full figure set from a Nutcracker Scoob. So I'm talking Daphne as the angel, Fred as the Nutcracker, the ghost, of course, we need the ghost of Christmas Never. Scrappy as the Sugar Plum Fairy, because he's super cute with his little tutu, and he hated it, but I mean, he was adorable. I think that he needs to just take one for the team, Scrappy. You can do it. Also though, Mr. Nickleby and Snowball the cat and Mrs. Muffin Stuffer with like a little tray of cookies, I think would be really, really cool. So I would love to see that particular set. Oh, and of course, like we need a Shaggy. So I'm thinking elf Shaggy, because there is that one scene where they're like Scrappy comes out and he's like, "Hi, we're Santa's elves," and the three of them have like these really cute little green elf outfits. But also, I don't know why, but I would love to see like a proper Scooby as Santa's reindeer with like a little sled. Like I'm talking like a decent sized Scooby with like a full on, like not just a couple little stick antlers and like a collar or something, but like a harness, red and gold with like little buckles and everything like that. Like just go all out. And then this like fancy ornate sleigh that he's pulling behind him. I don't know why, but like that, I just picture that in my head, and it looks like the way I see it, it looks really, really cool. I think that would be a great display piece. Obviously, you can take it out of your collection for the holidays and have it like on your mantle or on your table. You can put toys or food or other figures in the sleigh. Like it's just endless possibilities, but something that's like maybe just like a little bit high end. Not like a junky or a derpy looking Scooby, but like a really nice fancy looking one that like that would just be, I don't know. I want to see that.
There is that candy dish that's Scooby pulling the
Yes.
sled.
It's really
And
cute. too.
yeah, that's really cute. So I could
Mhm.
totally see them making something that's bigger than that.
Mhm.
That's more of like a statue. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody has great ideas and I'm all for it. So.
Who's taking notes? Warner Brothers? You guys got the
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Does anybody have anything else that they want to add that is Scooby-Doo holiday related? Danny?
I was just thinking of like the comics. There's like holiday editions of the comics, but they're not really like holiday themed or anything. And I think there could be like some cute comic plots.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool to see again.
Yeah. Trevor, anything to add?
I don't know if, I mean, Cartoon Network was going to do anything, or Boomerang, where they could do a whole day and put the Christmas stuff together to broadcast. That would be really nice. Again, it would be really nice to have a new Christmas special, and again, make it a family thing. We talked about to have all the dogs together. I think that would just be an excellent thing. Maybe after the puppy show, they'll do some more things.
Yeah. A new Christmas special would be fun for sure. Wendy, anything else you want to add?
I mean, Warner Brothers, it is the holiday season. How about you just release the brand new holiday Scooby movie that you paid for and has already been made? It's not like we don't want to see it. So, you know, we're all still fingers crossed for our Christmas miracle Scoob holiday haunt. Ball's in your court, guys. Come on. Like, you've already spent the money. We're willing to give you even more money to see it. So come on, Warner Brothers. It's Christmas time. Don't be a Scrooge. Don't be a Grinch. Give us the holiday Scooby goodness.
Joel, anything you want to add?
Oh, I agree. Holiday haunt. I'm hoping for a Christmas miracle. And then I just had an open-ended question. Like you were talking about the Scooby nativity scene. Who would be who?
Oh, well, Wendy, did you want to take that? Or, I mean,
Well,
we're
I feel
thinking
like
like Daphne would be Mary
yes.
and
And
where
Scrappy would be Jesus.
Scrappy was Jesus, and Fred, was he going to
Happy.
be a shepherd or a wise man? I mean, did you have him in your drawing?
No, I just had Scooby as
Scooby
Joseph.
was Joseph. Well,
Yeah.
then let's just say make Fred a wise man and Shaggy a shepherd. That would be
Okay,
cute.
that works. I like that. Yeah. And and we need a Scooby Dum. Scooby Dum could be. I kind of would like
a sheep.
Oh, he could be a sheep. We could. Oh my
Sheep?
goodness, how cute would he be dressed? Okay, I think that Trevor and I might have to do like Christmas drawings this year of.
Well,
like
we are
expanding
doing the
nativity.
Christmas challenge, but yeah, let's talk about doing those specifically. That would be cute.
Definitely.
Yeah, that
And
would
maybe
be really
we could
cool.
get Sophie to do the custom figures for us. Nothing
Yeah.
else, because she does such a nice job.
That'd be cool to see. Yeah, now you guys have to do it because now it's in the panel. So you're committed.
All right. Well, along with my 80 other things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you guys that we definitely need to see Scoob Holiday Haunt. I know that they're not allowed to release it because they wrote it off, but I mean, come on, like sell it or give it away for free with the purchase of something. I will rescue another dog if it means that I can watch Scoob Holiday Haunt. So like, I have no problem with that. Other people will have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that, okay?
Let me guess who that would be.
But yes, definitely. I so want to see that movie. Them as kids in Scoob was the greatest. And I just want to see it. I'm sure it's so cool. And it's just so sad that we're not, as of now, we're not going to get to see it. So maybe if we all collectively, all the Scooby fans, put our money together and buy Warner Brothers from Discovery, then we can make that decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, might I throw in a final question, please?
Sure.
What if things were infinitely resourceful, what would you all like to get this year for Christmas that was Scooby? It could be anything.
The Toys R Us Ferris wheel mystery machine car and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloon of Scooby. That's what I would want.
Okay. Someone else.
I want the Scooby breaking out of a TV cookie jar because I always want that, and I like refuse to get a cookie jar until I get that cookie jar. So I'm like a little limited until I find that.
But that would be your gateway cookie. You realize there are probably at least 30 other ones,
Yeah.
right?
It's fine. I will go down with this Scoob.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying you'll want them all once you got that.
Yeah, that's fine. Got to start somewhere.
Okay.
Joel.
I would, if I had infinite resources, I would get them to print season 2 of the Scooby-Doo show on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, because that hasn't never been released. That would make my Christmas for sure.
Yeah.
Wendy.
That's actually, Nikki and I were talking yesterday, And I was saying how, like, maybe I've finally become an adult in that I've managed to get like all of my grails in the last 5 or 6 years, and like I'm satisfied with my collection as it is. It's not that I don't want more things, it's just that there's really nothing at the moment that I'm like, oh, I have to have that, like I absolutely need it. So I guess if I had to like stretch and like pick something, maybe an original sketch of The Witch of Salem by Bob Singer. Because when we interviewed him and he pulled out that sketch of her, I mean, about lost my mind. Like that was amazing getting to see that, because she is my favorite Scooby moment. I don't know, but like I remember seeing that as a kid, and for a long time wondering if that episode actually existed or if I made it up, because like you couldn't just pull it up online and rewatch it, you know. And one of the first things that I did when we got internet access at home was I started like writing to people on Scooby websites being like, hey, and describing the episode and being like, was this a thing? Like, and somebody actually did eventually write me back and was like, oh yeah, that was an episode. So yeah, I guess that would maybe be it. I'm not really into collecting a lot of the artwork just for space reasons, but I could maybe make an exception for a Witch of Salem sketch signed by Bob. Yeah.
Trevor, what would your thing be?
Well, y'all went bigger than I
Well, you said infinite, so
I did
mean,
say
you gotta
infinite.
go
Okay,
big
I
on
would
that.
I would like an original animation cell from the Weird Winds of Winona. Yeah. I would also like the complete set of 7-Eleven glasses that I'm missing most all of them from, but I have Velma and Fred from when I was little, and I was proud that Mom saves things for us, but that the plastic glass from that era lasted as long. And I mean, I guess you could, they're more expensive than I want to pay, but that would be nice to have those. And I guess that was about it. But and also I would like to see a DVD collection of those different shows from the 70s, the Scooby and Scrappy show and all that, which maybe I've just not dug around enough, but I would really like to make a comprehensive DVD collection for myself. Just get all those shows so I could just watch all of them. But I've never really seen any of those like packaged or made for sale. So.
Yeah, I think if there were infinite resources, there are a million things that I could say that I want. It'd be great. I need a bigger house. So
Infinite resources. I want a Scooby house.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, a Scooby house. Well, actually one that would look like one of the mansions from the credits.
Yep.
You know, with the high cupolas and the roof stuff. And then it would always, the bats would go beep, 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 beep. Every time you came home, you could press a button and they'd be on strings fly by you.
They all fly out on like the strings, and then you have to like, reel them back in.
Well, no, I would think it would just have a retract. Actually, there needs to be a Scooby-Doo theme park is what there needs to be.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to wrap this up. And before we do, please let everyone know where they can find you on social media. Wendy, we'll start with you.
You can come say hi to me on Instagram. I'm at WendyBRYDGE. On Twitter, I'm Wendy Loves Jesus. And my blog is wendylovesjesus.wordpress.com.
Joel?
You can find me on YouTube under Planet Scooby.
Trevor?
You can find me on Instagram at Funky Philosophy Fridays, and all the sounds are F's.
DANII?
I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything as Masquerades Fox, and my website is DANIMeger.com.
And you can find all my links on ScoobyAddicts.com. Thank you for joining us for another Scooby panel, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for tuning in to another Scooby panel. I'm Nikki Blake from ScoobyAddicts.com. If you like these panels, please subscribe to my channel for more great discussions. A huge shout out to our patrons, Julie Rosen, Ross from ScoobyFan.net, Scooby-Doo of Roblox, and Ruth Elliott Hillsden. If you would like to support the Scooby panel, please go to patreon.com/ScoobyAddicts. A very special thank you to Joel from Planet Scooby, pop artist Trevor Hawkins, Scooby collector and Guinness record holder DANII MEGER, and artist, blogger, and Scooby collector Wendy BRYDGE. Scooby Panel is available in podcast form on most podcast platforms, or as a web series on YouTube. You can now find Scooby Panel on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as @ScoobyPanel. Scooby and Shaggy are voiced by Scott Innes. Check out Scott's website, onescottshop.com. Scooby Addicts artwork by Will Davenport. Video editing by Nikki Blake. Music composed and performed by Bovine Nightmares. Please join us next time for another Scooby panel.